Hello everyone, so my name is Luisa Navarro and today I'm going to be talking about a memory that came to mind while I was reading the guidelines for this assignment. So this is actually not a very happy memory, it's actually very sad, and it made me scared for a long time even after it happened because I was afraid of it happening again. But this happened a year ago. It was September, a rainy day on a Wednesday. I remember going to sleep pretty early because I knew that I had school the next day. So around 12 or 1 a.m., I hear a really loud noise. It sounded as if someone had grabbed a chair and slammed it across the wall or something like that, but it was pretty loud that I woke up. So I decided to walk around to see what was going on, and I find my brother laying down on the floor. So me thinking nothing of it, I thought he had just fallen off of the bed, nothing weird. And I started poking him around, tickling him, but after 2 minutes of doing that, he wasn't waking up. So instead, I decided to pull in his arms, shake him a little bit to see if he would respond, but he wasn't. So I decided to scream his name and tell him to wake up, and then wake up, wake up. But instead of waking him up, I woke up my parents. So my dad comes into the room, he picks up my brother and puts him back in bed. Now we start shaking him really harshly and he wasn't waking up. So my mom starts crying and she dials 911. When the ambulance got here, the EMT decides to take him into the ambulance because my mom was making them a little nervous. So they took around 10 to 15 minutes to tell us that they were going to take him into a hospital. They asked us if we wanted to ride with them, and my mom said yes. All I could remember from being in the ambulance was the really loud noise, the really bright lights. My mom was crying, and we were going super fast on the freeway. So when we got to Del Sol, they were not doing anything for my brother. They were actually just staring at him, so my mom decides to transfer him into Providence. So when we got to Providence, my brother wasn't breathing anymore, so they decided to induce him into a coma. So I remember not going to school the next day. I had fallen asleep in the hospital, and one of the EMTs comes up to my mom while we were in the waiting room, and they told my mom that I'm so sorry, and then she breaks down. She starts crying and screaming like crazy. No, my son, what happened to him? And then he's like, no, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted to tell you that I had to go now. So then my mom stops crying, but she was still shaking. She was so scared. I remember my heart dropping. I didn't even know what to think. So the next day I had to go to school because they were really strict on absences. So I remember I was crying in the corner, and then one of my friends comes up to me and asked me what's wrong. So he hugged me, and that made me cry even worse. And when I got to class about 3 hours later, I remember my mom texting me. She's like, your brother woke up, he's okay. And I was so happy. That made me really happy. So when I got to a hospital, I think I left early from school. She tells me that he had taken extra Tylenol because he had a really bad migraine and it wouldn't go away. So he overdosed Tylenol, and thankfully he's okay now. And that memory sticks with me, and it scares me every time I think about it. It makes me sad, and thankfully it's just a memory now.